Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Fantasy football is really kicking into higher gear right now. I am definitely getting excited because just training camp being here, like honestly, training camp will do it for me. Like I can feel, pretty good about training camp. I'm starting to get pretty intense, pretty excited about this season. So I'm really excited about the upcoming season. It has been way too long without fantasy football. So we're gonna get into another draft tonight. We'll do Best Ball Mania tonight just because I feel like it. Again, Best Ball Mania, if you're not familiar, is a $25 entry. Major prizes, man. You can see all the prizes, man, you could win on the screen right now. It's a great draft. I think you should definitely take advantage of Best Ball Mania. If you haven't already signed up for Underdog, fix your life, dude. Honestly, that's the point we're at right now. I'm going to drop a link into the chat for you guys to be able to join Underdog. You can use my code, and they'll take care of you real good. But definitely excited to get into fantasy draft tonight. I'll also go ahead and go over some of my most drafted players in 2025, just to give you guys a good idea of where I stand right now. Dude, I'm like, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know how many drafts deep I'm at. Quite a bit, that's for sure. But either way, I'm pretty pumped. No, that's a lie. I know. I think I'm like 136. This is like 136 or 137th draft of mine that we're about to get into right now. So, yeah, I'm pretty deep for sure. Nathan Hilton, what's going on, my man? Good to see you in here tonight. How's life been? Life's been pretty good. Yeah, no complaints from me. It's been a great summer, taking a couple vacations, went up to Lake Tahoe beginning of June, and going to Port A down here in Texas just next week. Went up to the lake a couple times. It's been pretty awesome. Yeah, it's nice to be able to just kick back. I love summer, so I really do enjoy just getting away from things and kind of disconnecting a little bit. And summer to me is my favorite time to do that. So it's been pretty good, but can't complain about anything. Matthew, what's going on, man? Good to see you in here tonight. Just finished a BBM draft using the balanced drafting method. Yeah, that's one that I think people should definitely take advantage of for sure. I mean, if you did not see the video I went over yesterday, I went over the most drafted players. I'm sorry, not the most drafted players. I went over the big money winner last year. I went over the draft strategy that they used. Well, McCaffrey's off the board, so I'm going to go Puka. Puka round one. Yeah, so yesterday I went over the winning teams fantasy draft strategy that they used in 2024. And Best Ball Mania last year was a $1.5 million prize. This year it's actually $2 million. So it could, it's a much bigger prize by $500K if you actually end up winning. And he used the balanced draft strategy. Now, I also went over that, should you use it? Should you not use it? I think yes and no. There's going to be good uses for it this year, but I also think you shouldn't follow it to a T. But definitely think it's worth giving a shot. I might end up doing something like that right now. Who knows? Honestly, I'm getting to the point of the offseason where I'm just kind of I'm definitely winding down on drafts. I don't usually draft too much in August unless it's a home redraft league or something like that. I'm at the point right now probably where I'm getting close to just kind of taking the shot on the guys that I believe in the most. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel to show your support. By the way, if you have not done so already, it is good to see y'all in here tonight. Well, I think I'm going to go with A.J. Brown and try to stack him with Jalen Hurts if I can in the fourth. But let me know what you guys got going on. Who's got some more summer stuff coming up? Any vacations? We can talk fantasy football all day. You know that. But I definitely do enjoy summer. Like I said, summer is probably my favorite time of the year outside of fantasy football because of, like, I just enjoy getting out in the water, man. I really do. Jared, what's going on? Good to see you in here tonight. Well, there's no quarterbacks off the board yet, so we will see. We will see how long that stands. Jared, I was born up north. I prefer winter over summer. Yeah, that makes sense. The majority of my family, well, all of them actually. My parents are both born in the Northeast. Dad's from Pittsburgh, mom's from Ohio. So they definitely. It's the opposite though. My dad definitely prefers summer. My mom, I would say, my mom cracks me up. She's got her like temperature window, but I don't think anybody in the family likes it super cold. But I grew up born and raised in Texas. I'm the first generation Texan in my family, so I definitely prefer the winter or the summer. Warren Z, what's going on? So what's changed since the training camp news? Yeah, so there's definitely names that are dropping and there's names that are rising. I think I'm gonna go Kyron here. You know what? I'm actually gonna go Kittle. I haven't done much of Kittle. Would have been fine with Kyron there. I'll star him just in case he makes it back. I'm hoping to get Hurts right around here. Yeah, but there's definitely names that are falling, definitely names that are rising. Now, the big one for me, I'll be honest with you guys, is Kyle Pitts. So Kyle Pitts, I don't know if he's necessarily rising a ton in drafts right now, but Michael Penix made a comment today that it was either today or yesterday that he said he like pointed it out. He was like talking to reporters after practice yesterday, and he basically said, "Yeah, did you guys see that? Like I'm targeting Kyle Pitts. Like we're going to do that a lot this year. You're going to see a lot of Kyle Pitts." And listen, I understand that like there's a lot of people who do not love Kyle Pitts in fantasy. Like I don't love Kyle Pitts either. But the reason why it's intriguing to me is because every year I'm going to go Hurts here to get my stack with A.J. Brown. So every year I go through tight end research that I started doing last year. And it's based over the last 11 seasons now of tight ends who ended up being league winners who were not drafted as league winning values. And so, you know, the good thing about that research is it led me to Jonnu Smith last year. So I naturally trust that research. And Kyle Pitts fit that research to a T. Like Kyle Pitts, if everything hits right for him, could legitimately have a breakout season. And I get it. Like I totally understand it. I'm not a Kyle Pitts guy naturally anymore. That's for sure. And I definitely see the issues with Kyle Pitts. Like he's, you know, taking a dump all over everybody for the last 4 years now, basically. But I will say that he does match up with that tight end research I've done to find like league winners who are super cheap values. And Kyle Pitts is super cheap right now. And Michael Penix seems to have an affinity for throwing to him. At least in training camp. Obviously, it's football in shorts right now, so you can't overreact. But I will say, some things are important in training camp to keep in mind, and some things end up not being as important. Whether this is or not remains to be seen. I don't blame you if you don't think Kyle Pitts won't do anything, but I've got my eye on him for sure. Because theoretically, this is the best time to buy Kyle Pitts. This is his lowest price ever. In theory, if it works, it's going to work really big. Jared, first generation Texan is a curse. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't feel that way. I love Texas. The only other place I'd live besides Texas is Florida. Which NFL team do you rep? Cowboys or Texans? Steelers, for sure. Steelers. Like I said, my dad's from Pittsburgh, so Steelers runs in the blood. Grandfather was Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Like it's all in the family bloodline. Pittsburgh Steelers. That's why I'm really critical on Tomlin and the state of the Steelers today, because I grew up watching Ben, Troy Polamalu, James Harrison, Hines Ward. I mean, you could go on and on. Like, we watched brilliant football when I was a kid, and we don't get that anymore. Do I want to go with Travis Hunter, or do I want to go with a running back? You know what? I'm going to go with James Conner here. Go against the grain, actually, a little bit. Maybe I'm not done going against the grain. Warren Z, I heard Fields got hurt, but he seems to be okay. Yeah, Fields is okay. So, yeah, if you did not see it, Justin Fields did get carted off at practice today. And, of course, that was, like, the first thing I woke up to. So I was like, oh, wow. Like, the carts – because, like, the cart always comes out, like, first couple days of training camp, and it's like someone's season is over. And he was the first offensive player that I knew of who brought the cart out. The Dolphins brought the cart out for Artie Burns, who's a corner, former Steeler, by the way. And he had a torn ACL, but with Fields obviously seeing like the card alert is never a good thing, right? But he ended up being okay. Like, it's just a dislocated toe from what I understand, so in theory he should be fine. Well, yeah, I'm gonna end up going running back here. Not picking Mixon. Don't even try to talk me into it. Warren Z, every year this Pitts hype. Yeah, no, it's like I said, I understand. I understand where everybody's coming from. It's definitely it is definitely a yearly thing. I mean, this time of year it is definitely Kyle Pitts or, Kyle Pitts' year. It's going to be Kyle Pitts' year. And like I said, that if Kyle Pitts was being priced where he was last year, I'd have no interest. But the fact that he's the tight end like 17 right now in Underdog, and in redraft leagues he's like basically being undrafted, I mean, it's huge. It's huge. And I'm definitely willing to take the shot on that. Because, again, in theory, if he works, he's going to work big. And in best ball, like, that's what you're shooting for. Angel Coronado, on my first long draft on Underdog, never again. Long draft. Oh, are you Are you talking about like those 8-hour shot clocks? I did one of those last year and I didn't like it. I'm just not I'm not a long drafter either. I like to do like the 20-second shot clock. I've done a ton this offseason. I prefer the 30-second. I've done way more 20-second than 30-second this year. In fact, I think right now on Underdog, the only one you could get in on Best Ball Mania is a 20-second shot clock. It's weird. San Antonio, Texas here. Nice. Nice. Jared, who do you think are some diamonds in the rough for the late round picks, like rounds 10 through 16? Yeah, I've gone over several this offseason. I think, like, Emeka Egbuka has probably risen up past round 10 at this point. He's one of my favorites, though, for sure. I'm a big Emeka Egbuka fan. Roshan Johnson, I think, is a really good one. Once I get into the underdog, once I get into like round 10 area, I'll start kind of calling them out as I see them. But the one that really does come to mind is Roshan. Roshan definitely comes to mind. Well, do I go Golden or Josh Downs or Egbuka? I think I'm going to go with Golden to give me stable-ish, hopefully, production with a good quarterback unlike Josh Downs. Angel Coronado. Yes, sir. 4 people auto-drafting. Yeah, that's the worst. Yeah, those like several day long drafts are annoying. Like I said, I did one last year. I just didn't really like it that much. So all I do is this type of stuff right here. And again, if you want to get into it, if you're not into Underdog already, you got to fix that, man. Because the good thing about Underdog is it does not require any time during the season. Like, it will not take up any of your time during the season because it's automatically scored. Best score by position every week is logged. No waiver wire, no roster lineup setting, no nothing. So it's not taking place of your home redraft league. It's just another fun thing to do. So, again, there's a link in the description, link in the comment section as well, link in the chat. So if you do want to get into it, you can grab that link and use code FFN. I'm going to grab Tracy before time runs out on me. Nathan Hilton, give Utah an NFL team name. I'll go with the I got 2 for you. Pick which one you like better. The Utah Mormons or the Utah Mountains. I think we all know which one we like better. Utah Mormons has got to be it. Rascal, what's going on? Should have taken Pacheco over Golden. I only had 2 wide receivers. I need to grab my third. I only have 3 wide receivers before the 100th overall pick. So Nathan Hilton, Utah Mountains. You know, I've never been to Utah. I've always heard that it's beautiful. Definitely would want to go at some point. My wife and I, we like the mountains and the beach. She's more of she likes the mountains more than me. And she loves the beach. I maybe like it a little bit more than her. So we usually we've been married for a year and a half now at this point. So our honeymoon, we went to the beach. And our anniversary this year, we went to Colorado. So maybe we'll go to Utah at some point. What about Utah Beavers? Utah Beavers probably works too. Well, Quinshawn Judkins has fallen to the 104, but I'm not taking him. No chance. I'm going to end up going with Trey Harris here. Maybe grab Justin Herbert. No, Justin Herbert's already off. I might try to grab... I'm going to try to grab Jordan Love with my next pick to stack him with Matthew Golden. Because I got my A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts stack, which is good. Can't believe I haven't showed you all the board yet. Right now, I've got Puka Nacua, A.J. Brown at the first 2 picks. George Kittle at the tight end. Jalen Hurts to stack with A.J. Brown. James Conner, DeAndre Swift. Matthew Golden, Tyrone Tracy, and Trey Harris. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. We definitely have some very nice gems here. Are you in Utah? Nice. Yeah, Utah, like I said, I definitely want to go at some point probably. I don't know, I go back and forth on it. No offense to Utah. I go back and forth on it. But it's definitely beautiful. Like the pictures that I've seen, really pretty. Really pretty. Well, stuck. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Tie off my quarterback position with Love. So Nathan is in Utah. Nice. I thought, yeah. I didn't know you were in Utah. That's cool. Is your Patreon still active? That's a really good question. So the Patreon is, I guess it's technically still active. I have not deactivated it yet. I'm not active on Patreon right now, and there's a really big reason. And Nathan, I emailed you this earlier this offseason, which is that I've been working on something really, really big for the entire offseason that is so much more valuable than anything I could have ever provided you on Patreon. Like what is about to come from this channel and what I've got going is going to be enormous. It's the biggest thing you could ever imagine. Truly. Like I'm not over exaggerating when I say that. So I've been alluding to it for weeks now. There's a big change that's going to be coming to my channel in particular here over the next week or two. And you're going to see another huge addition and a huge project coming to fruition for you guys to all benefit from in the next month to month and a half. So just stay tuned. I would not say if you're wanting to engage with me a little bit more, don't bother on Patreon. I'm not posting on there right now. For existing patrons, if you're still there, I will be posting a video when big changes are made. So things can be announced and you guys can know what's coming next. I'm going to grab Trey Benson to make sure I get him. Yeah, I'm not going to get QJ. I don't have Herbert. Get Dobbs. I could do Dobbs. Dobbs, maybe Kyle Pitts could follow me around later. That'd be ideal. But yeah, if you want to re-engage with me, just wait. Honestly, like I said, I cannot overstate this. It is going to be huge for everybody who follows me. This is the most value that I've ever brought to you to date, and I literally cannot wait to unveil it to you guys. I've been working on it since literally the beginning of the offseason. It's going to be massive. So I'll go Dobbs. Hopefully Pitts will fall back to me. I'm going to be super pumped for it. Thank you for great work. We all appreciate it very much. Well, I appreciate you guys. Nothing is possible without you guys. So the reality is, like, even with what I've got creating, like, I know you guys are going to get value from it, but that's only because you guys pay attention. You guys like my content. So massive thanks to you guys. I mean, you guys are really the ones who make everything possible. But yeah, I can't wait to unveil it, guys. Taymor Yusuf, what's going on? Ryan, what's up, bro? Excited for the new season. You and me both, man. I cannot freaking wait. I can't wait. We're running it back this year, and we're gonna destroy all of your league mates. That's for sure. We're crushing people this year. I can't wait. We're gonna be taking down champions. We're gonna be hopefully winning underdog drafts, taking down some big money with this one right here, particularly. And we're gonna have fun doing it. Like I said, dude, I can literally feel it. Like, I love football season so much, guys. And when we get to training camp where we're at right now, like, I can feel it in me, just like boiling. And I just can't wait. Like, I can't wait to watch the Hall of Fame game. I mean, that's where I'm at. The Hall of Fame game, by the way, I think it's a week from today. Let's see. Hall of Fame game. Lions and Chargers, Thursday, July 31st. Yeah, next week. 1 week from today is the Hall of Fame game. And if you haven't seen the Hall of Fame game, like, there's no starters. There's nothing like that. It's not going to be a real game. Like, it's not even a real preseason game, to be honest. Like, technically it's preseason, but, like, none of the starters will play a lick. It's all going to be backups. Second stringers and beyond, guys who will not make the team. But I am dying for football right now, so I can't wait. I got Pitts back, so that's cool. So I can round off my tight end position as well. I'll stick with 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends right now. So update, Puka Nacua, A.J. Brown, George Kittle, Jalen Hurts as my first 4 picks. I got Hurts to stack with A.J., and I also got George Kittle. I do not have much of him, so I was happy with that. James Conner, DeAndre Swift, and my top 2 running backs. Matthew Golden, Tyrone Tracy, Trey Harris, Jordan Love, Trey Benson, Romeo Dobbs, and Kyle Pitts. Through 13 rounds. Like the video and subscribe to the channel to show your support if you haven't done so already. Peyton McCaslin, what's going on? What's up, man? Love your content. Helped me win my league last year. I appreciate that. Appreciate that you're enjoying it, and glad I could help you on your way to a victory. We're running it back this year, so stay tuned because we're winning another championship. Okay. Do I want 1 or 2 more running backs? Well, I'm going to go Pat Bryant here. I would have gone Tank Bigsby if he was available. He went a couple picks after me. Whatever. We will. If Roschon makes it back to me, I'll take him. I just didn't want to take 2 Chicago running backs. Jerome Ford, I would take him as well if he falls to me. Will Shipley, I'll take. Nick Chubb, I'll take. So we'll see what happens. Taymor Yusuf, haven't gotten a chance to watch many vids this year yet. Who's your Chuba Hubbard of this year where you're backing them to a T? Very good question. So, of course, it sounds like you know about my unsuspecting league-winning running backs video. And that's good. And if you haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet, I would watch it this year. And I'll be honest with you. Last year I had heavy conviction on Chuba Hubbard. And I have not felt that way about any of my options yet this year. I'm not going to spoil the whole video for you. I really do think you should watch it like in its entirety to see who the whole list is and, what built up to that. But I'll give you a little bit of a mini spoiler, I guess, just a little piece of it, which is that Trey Benson was on that list, and he's my most drafted player so far. And last year, Chuba was my most drafted player. So I definitely think that Trey Benson is the guy that I'm honing in on because of price mostly. But again, I do not have the difference between last year and this year is that Chuba was the clear cut running back with a great offensive-minded head coach. My options this year are not in that scenario. Like there is all of the guys who are on that list right now, they're not clear-cut options. Like even with, I'm gonna go Shipley. Hopefully Chubb will make it back to me. The difference between Chuba and someone like Trey Benson, right, is like even with Chuba, like people thought Jonathan Brooks would be the guy when he came back. That's the key words, when he came back. Because he was never he wasn't gonna start the year. So my theory was always that Chuba would be the guy who just took over right away and didn't look back. And he did exactly that. And of course, Jonathan Brooks got injured, so he was no threat. But with Trey Benson, like James Conner is a threat. Like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you he's not. So yeah, it's just one of those things where there hasn't been a Chuba separated this year, and I don't want to lie to you guys and say that there has been. If I don't have conviction on someone, I'm not going to tell you guys that I'm planting my flag. Last year I flag planted on Chuba. This year I'm not flag planting on any of them. It's still early-ish, so maybe something happens over the next couple weeks, but right now I'm not there. My personal guys are Josh Downs and Tyjae Spears for this year. So I can tell you for a fact I like both those guys as well. And again, I don't want to spoil too much about the unsuspecting league-winning running backs video, but man, Nick Chubb, I got sniped. Well, I'll probably punt a little bit. I go Jalen Noel. Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much about that video, but Tyjae Spears is also on there as well, and I would say that he's definitely the guy I've also honed in on as well. Tyjae Spears fit that criteria, and I do really like Tyjae. And I do also like Josh Downs. The only problem I have with Downs is the quarterback situation. And listen, I like Daniel Jones being his quarterback for Josh Downs in fantasy. But I also like wide receivers in his range as well. Like I like, Emeka Egbuka is a guy that I like to take. Khalil Shakir is a guy I like to take in his range. So he's not on an island where Tyjae and Trey Benson are, for example. But that's kind of my theory on that. Peyton, what's going on? Who would you target with the 12 position in a 14-man league? At the turn with 12 and 17 overall, the guys I like in my range are Genty, Neighbors, Jacobs, and Allen. Not sure if it's too early for quarterback. Well, the problem particularly with the quarterback, if you want to do that, is that if you don't pick Josh Allen there, right? Like, let's say that you really want to go quarterback early. If you don't go with Josh Allen, you probably will. The best chance you've got of getting an elite quarterback is Joe Burrow on that like 3 to 4 turn. That's probably your best shot. So it's not really a is it too early question. I mean, it kind of is. Let me think about it for a second. I'm going to go Jarquez Hunter in Los Angeles. And then I'll target Jalen Coker because I just got so much conviction on him this year. Torrey Horton, I've also been liking to take a shot on him. So, what was the question? Oh yeah, Josh Allen. So Josh Allen, I do definitely think there's you obviously have to take into account the potential that he is it could be too early. I don't think he's the only guy I've said this before. He's the only guy truly I think is bust proof. I do view him as a bust proof guy. I'm gonna go Torrey Horton to round me out. I do truly view him as a bust proof player. I think that when it comes to Josh Allen, he will not bust for you. He doesn't get injured. And knock on wood, I hope it doesn't happen. I don't want to jinx it, but it just feels so safe. Personally, if I was you, I'd probably go with Genty, to be completely honest. I think Genty has top 5, top 3 upside this year. What it reminds me of is, if you guys remember Najee Harris's rookie year with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he wasn't efficient at all. But they rode him into the ground and gave him 400 touches. And he was the running back 3 in full PPR. That's the kind of season I see for Genty. They're going to ride him into the ground. And he's young enough to handle it. He's athletic enough to handle it. So he'll be more efficient than Najee in all likelihood, but at the same time, won't provide McCaffrey-level efficiency or Henry-level efficiency, but it'll get so much freaking work, it won't matter. So I'll take Genty personally. Charles Garrick, what's going on? Give me Jordan Mason and Scatterboo. I'm in with you on Jordan Mason, not in on Scatterboo. Personally. Not a Scatterboo person. I'd rather have Tyrone Tracy Jr. for other reasons. Maybe I'll get into later. So that was it for that draft. I'm 142 drafts deep in the NFL season. I did 12 pre-draft best ball, which means it was before the NFL draft. And I did 1 super flex. So in total, I've done 155 drafts this offseason. And again, I'm going to go through the exposure and my most drafted players right now on Underdog, just to give you guys a shot and see what I'm looking at. Really quick, I'm going to answer these last 2. Is Chase always the 101? I've had the 101 close to 10 times and have him in at least half of those. Issue is you can get everyone else at the 102, 103, but you never get Chase at the 101. Yeah, I don't think that you can get Chase anytime else. I said this on a video actually recently. I'm 142 drafts deep now, and I have never, not once, and I've been watching for it. Actually, one time it happened last week or 2 weeks ago. One time out of 142 drafts that I've been in has Chase not been the 101. So if you want Chase, you got to take him there. It's the bottom line. And I think he's worth it. I really do. I would take him over Saquon. I would take him over Bijan. And those are really the 3 guys I'd consider at the 101. I'd take Chase. Downs is quarterback proof. I would tend to agree, but I think obviously I want upside in best ball. And I don't see tons of upside when I got the quarterback situation I've had with him. What are you thinking regarding Rashee Rice? I know you love him, but the suspension is interesting. I'm personally buying the dip, been able to get him end of round 4 in some sleeper mocks. I still like him. I can't help it. I discussed this last time I went live last week, which is that I expect him to get suspended between 3 to 4 games. Just looking at the history of NFL and how they've handled vehicular incidents, they don't typically punish those as heavy as like domestic violence, for example. So like Quinshon Judkins, I'm out on him. But Rashee Rice, on the other hand, Jordan Addison, like obviously Rashee Rice's situation is different than Jordan Addison. It wasn't a DUI. It was like literally it could have taken someone's life. But Rashee Rice for me, yeah, like I'm still willing to buy the dip for sure. 4th round, I'm totally fine with getting him. I think as long as he's out there, if what I believe is correct, and he's suspended for 3 to 4, maybe 5 games, then the 4th round is well worth it to me. Because when he's out there, he will be elite. Caleb Johnson. Okay. I'm not sure what the context is there. But Caleb Johnson, indeed. Another? Yeah, I'll go another one. Let me just go through some of my most drafted players. So I'm going to go through the top 5 just so we can get into another draft. Trey Benson, like I alluded to earlier, is my most drafted player on Underdog. I've got him in 64 teams. Now, a couple different reasons. The main reason being is that his price is so good. And the other reason being is that Trey Benson, like when it comes to the job in Arizona, it's obviously going to be James Conner at the beginning, but I personally believe it could be like an Amari and Hampton situation, what we thought that could have been, right? Obviously, Najee is dealing with the injury, but the original, factor that everybody was considering was that they believed Najee would be the lead back at the beginning of the year while Hampton got touches, but he eventually took over. I think that could be a situation we see in Arizona. And again, he fit my league-winning running backs criteria to a T. I love Trey Benson. Jalen Coker, way deep. He's typically the guy that I get in round 17 or 18. I love Jalen Coker. He was the best Carolina receiver last year, being drafted at the back of the draft. Going to be a guy that I think is going to be super underrated this year, and his only real competition is Adam Thielen, who I'm not saying is a bad receiver, but he definitely is old, could fall off at any point, become bad, or just get injured. I think Jalen Coker has a legit shot to be their wide receiver 1. Tyjae Spears, 52 shares of him. Again, price is great, and running back, unsuspecting league-winning running back. That's all you need to know. He fit that criteria. Again, watch that video if you haven't already. It's so worth your time. It's how I found Chuba, and it's how I found Chase Brown last year. Roschon Johnson as my 4th most drafted player, 48 shares of him. Love the Bears situation. They upgraded the offensive line, upgraded at head coach, upgraded at offensive mind, and Roschon Johnson is going to fit the David Montgomery role that Ben Johnson wants to keep. He's going to get goal line work. It's a great value. And my 5th most drafted player, Deebo Samuel. I know people have a lot of negative opinions on Deebo. Understandable, I don't really care. Because I know the upside with this guy is literally top 2 wide receiver and 300 fantasy points. I love the new situation in Washington. Great offensive mind with Cliff. He will use him like they did in San Francisco. I think he just needed a change of scenery, and the guy's on a contract year. I love taking the shot on Deebo. Maybe I should go a little bit lighter with him right now just because I've taken so much of him. But I have a true belief, and I'm willing to take the shot. I don't care if it doesn't work. I'm willing to take the shot because if it does work, I'm going to be freaking rich. So we'll get into another one, and I'll answer some more of y'all's questions. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel to show your support. Really happy to be here with you guys tonight. We could talk about anything. Fantasy football, summer plans, how excited we are for the season. My gosh, I can't get over it. And again, draft on Underdog today. It doesn't take any of your time except to draft. You don't have to worry about it during the season. All right, back into some questions. Taimur Yusuf says Caleb is so nice. Yeah, I personally love Caleb Johnson. I loved him before he got drafted to Pittsburgh. As a Steelers fan, I like Caleb Johnson, but I've gone over this a bunch, which is that I don't believe that he is going to be the lead bell cow. I just do not believe it. I'd much rather buy Jaylen Warren at cost. In fantasy football, I'm taking Jaylen Warren. And we could discuss that more if you guys really want to, but I'm telling you right now, like, totally fine with doing it. Lance says, why are you out on Judkins? Well, if you haven't heard, he got arrested for domestic violence. I think it was like 2 weekends ago at this point. Not a good situation, it doesn't look like. I'm not a lawyer. I wasn't there. I don't know what's going on. Like, if it, what the full story is. Obviously, we haven't heard his side of the story, but it's bad. He's not at training camp. He spent the night in jail. I mean, it's not a good situation. He's on a bad team already. I was already not as in on taking Quinshon Judkins. Yeah. It's just not worth the risk for me. Saquon falling to the 106, I feel like I just have to take it. You know what? I'm actually going to go with Bijan. I didn't see that Bijan was there. My most drafted player is Tank Bigsby. Yeah, that's interesting. Like I said earlier, I actually have been taking more of Bigsby, and I'll be honest with you, it's because of the research that I did for that video I made just a couple days ago about the Vegas lines that I think they're trying to tell a story on. And Tank Bigsby is favored to lead the backfield in rushing yardage in Jacksonville by like 200 yards. It's actually kind of scary because I've taken a ton of ETN. I went super heavy on ETN early in the offseason because he was so cheap. He was like the running back 40. So I grabbed so much of him. But now that he's like the running back 32, I haven't been taking him nearly as much. And I've been trying to go more heavy on Tank. So I think that might actually end up playing in your favor. I'm high as F on Debo. Interesting. I have literally not found another Debo guy. Like, I honestly thought I was on an island on this one. Like, I really did. I have not found another Debo person in fantasy this year. So welcome to the club, because it's lonely for sure. It's lonely, but we could be the ones who hit really big. Upside is huge. And nobody else's. I love it. Yep, that's what I was just saying. Okay, well, see what happens here. If A.J. Brown falls, I'll probably take A.J. Brown. If he doesn't, I might go double hero running back. I'm going to go double hero. I'm going to go JT. Angel Coronado, Jalen Noel, Trey Harris, Pat Bryant, and Chig are my most drafted. Did not expect that. Yeah, very interesting bunch right there. Jalen Noel, I've discussed him a lot. I've taken a lot of Jalen Noel myself. I do really like the price on Jalen Noel. Trey Harris, I'm taking more. I've taken more of Pat Bryant for sure. Pat Bryant, I've been taking a lot. And Chig, I started out taking him quite a bit this offseason, but I've cooled on that. So, yeah, these sounds like a lot of guys that like I would take myself. Amelia Earhart, what's going on? Right back at you. Good to see you in here tonight. Dave Pa, what's going on? 12-man keeper, no round penalty. Achane or London. Achane or London. Drafting in the 12 spot. So no round penalty, which basically means that you do not have to give up a draft pick for whoever you keep. I'd keep Achan. Yeah, Achan for sure. I don't want to risk losing Achan. Well, hoping Devontae or JSN falls to me. JSN goes. Hoping Devontae falls. And of course he doesn't. I'm going to take the risk and go with Rashee Rice. I am not taking Garrett Wilson. I'm just not doing it. Amelia Earhart said, I heard Bigsby was the lead back at camp today. Not a surprise. Not a surprise. It really could be Tank. I mean, Vegas sure seems to think so. And Vegas knows more than we do. So, that's a big one. I mean, I would go really light, tread lightly on Travis Etienne. Tank Bigsby at cost is good. One Sip Reviews. How do you feel about a late round Jalen Coker? I know he's fourth on the depth chart, but he has shown flashes and he's a dude that could be good weeks 15 through 17. Yeah, you must not have been here about 5 to 10 minutes ago. I was just discussing Jalen Coker is my second most drafted player in Underdog. Love Jalen Coker. Love him. I definitely personally I personally would go as far as to say I think he could be the wide receiver one in Carolina, not overall in fantasy. But I would go as far to say that. Like, I think that he is set up for big success. He was the best wide receiver by far, aside from Thielen. But the thing with Thielen is he can't stay healthy and he's old. So he could either not be good this year or get injured. Well, either one is possible. Well, if I go worthy here, I got to go ahead and grab Mahomes. So I'm going to do it. Taimur Yusuf says, the more I think about it, honestly, I think ETN is being underrated. Bigsby can fulfill a grinder role, but ETN was hampered much of last year with injury, and he looks good so far. Listen, that was the reason I was taking him a bunch. Like, I have personally always been a Travis Etienne guy. I love the talent, and like I said, I love the price with him, particularly when drafting was open earlier in the offseason. But now we're in late July, and people are starting to come back, and Etienne's price rose. Because he's a theoretical fit, particularly with Liam Cohen's offense now. But it seems like they're not really wanting to go with him. So I see the bounce back potential, but I don't know if they're going to use him like that. I've got way too much of him at this point. Like, if I only had 5 shares of ETN, I'd take more of him, especially now that I think he's going to fall. But as we stand right now, I've got way more than 5 shares. I've got probably 30 plus. So I'm just, for my personal situation, I'm not going to continue to take it. Tootin hype has gone out of control, especially with its fumbling problem. Yeah, that's mostly died down, I think, though. Like, he like many other rookies, got caught up in the rookie hype. So whenever there's a new, fresh rookie, especially when best ball drafts open on Underdog, right as soon as the NFL draft is done, people go nuts. People just lose their mind. I'm going to go Jalen. I thought I had the pick. I literally was like going to click on him to pick him, and it wasn't my pick. I want Jalen Waddle again. That made me mad. But back to Tune and the rookies. Like, that is just a scenario where he fell into like the category of all rookies where as soon as they get drafted, they start getting overhyped. It happens, right? Like it's pretty normal, standard best ball procedure. But right now, like Bashul Tootin, like that hype is pretty much done unless you're like a hardcore. Amelia Earhart says, I like Debo because I'm confident that Terry not practicing is going to lead him to getting hurt. See, that's a great thing that you just said because I talk about this a lot. If you are a veteran and you're holding out of training camp and not practicing, the problem is not obviously that you need to learn the offense. It has nothing to do with that. Everybody understands that. The problem is that you are missing out on getting your body loose and adjusted to game speed. So a lot of times what happens with these holdout players is they pull a hammy or they pull a groin and they pull a calf and they miss, the first month of the season because they weren't ready to go. Terry McLaurin is, make no mistake, in very big danger of that. Very big danger. If this goes on, that could be a huge problem. I'm going to try to push my luck here. Hopefully Mahomes comes back to me because I don't want to take him this early. I am going to go with Addison. I might have two suspended players. I probably will actually have two suspended players right out of the gate. So definitely need to pick up the slack of the wide receiver position. I believe in Chubbs this season. Goal line touches. Vegas, I think, does too. I highlighted that as well in the Vegas video I did the other day, which is that Vegas seems to be really underscoring Joe Mixon this year. So it could very well be a Nick Chubb involved year. Now, I don't think that he's the player he used to be, but I think that he will have a role. One sip reviews. Yeah, I think there's a decent chance that close to the end of the season, it's Tech, Coker, and Leggett. Yeah, I feel the same way. I've talked about Coker so much this offseason. I love taking him in best ball. Like, love it. In fact, to the point, like, literally, he's my second most drafted player. I've got over 50 shares of him. So I've had to slow it down, like, because it just became a default. Like, at the 17th or 18th round in every draft, it was like my mind went blank and I just drafted Jalen Coker. Like, yeah, it's like, all right, I'm going to have to, like, consciously think of a new way to go. By the way, I enjoyed that video you were talking about in the last live. It's changed my draft strategy. I'm aiming for either Hurts or Allen, possibly for elite quarterback. Well, I'm glad you got value from it. Yeah, particularly, okay, so Mahomes failed me. That's good. I mean, I guess not fall is the right word for it, but happy that he made it back. So my first 7 are Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor for a double hero, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy for the Patrick Mahomes super stack, Zay Flowers, and Jordan Addison. I would love this team if I didn't think 2 of my top 4 wide receivers were going to get suspended. I think that might be my only problem here. So I'm going to have to take some wide receivers who are going to have to pick up the slack early. Again, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Appreciate y'all being here. And get in on Underdog. Draft a team. You're going to love it. Yeah, back to the draft strategy video. I definitely think that's more geared for redraft leagues as well. Like, I definitely like taking an early quarterback in best ball. I've done it so much that I'm trying not to do it as much. Like, so many of my teams are Josh Allen in the third, Lamar in the third, Jalen Hurts in the fourth, that I've had to, like, consciously not do that as much. So, it's helped me too, actually, to be completely honest with you. Lancerabo. Getting sniped in best ball is straight pain. Try to get Mahomes in 91. I jumped the gun. I didn't want him to fall. I didn't want to let him go. But yeah, getting sniped in best ball does suck. It's annoying. It definitely is. Thoughts on Jalen McMillan? I'm shocked he doesn't have more hype this offseason with Godwin's injury, and he turned up at the end of last season. You know, I think it's a really good argument. Like, I do think that I'm guilty of writing him off as soon as they drafted Egbuka. Like, I really just genuinely have not had much interest in him since they drafted him. Speaking of Egbuka, I'm taking him. I have not had much interest in McMillan since they drafted Egbuka. But I will say this, like, I don't remember who I was talking to, but someone recently, like, literally just this week, was telling me that same thing. Like, why are people writing off McMillan? Like, he is going to be in an offense with an injured Chris Godwin and an old Mike Evans who also has injury history. He could easily be the wide receiver 2 on this team if things break his way. And I guess my thing is I don't like to ride on injuries, but I mean, I'm kind of doing that with Egbuka, where I think Egbuka will be a year-long starter, and I don't feel that about McMillan, but I think it's a fair argument. In fact, you may have inspired me to take him this draft. I'm next to you. I'll have the 90. If he's there, I will not be getting him. Are you really next to me? That's wild. Which one are you? I've been seeing Mahomes going at early 90th. Nearly 90th. Yeah, I've seen the same thing as well. I just didn't want to miss it. So typically when I'm really gunning for something, I'm willing to take it. I'm willing to draft above ADP. If Warren falls to me, I'll go with Warren. If he does not, I'll go with Tyrone Tracy. And hopefully Ingram can fall, because I would love to do that. Charles Gehrig, James Cook holdout? It does not appear that's happening. He was quoted today at practice saying, he did like a little Marshawn Lynch. He was like, I'm practicing so I won't get fined. Like, he made it clear that he wants his money and he wants to get paid, but he also is practicing. So, you know, it's a good thing that he's out there, because I'm trying to buy in on the James Cook dip. James Cook has fallen to like the middle to the back of the 4th round. I've been trying to buy up as much of him as I can over the last like several days, because I think people are overreacting to it. My advice would be to buy the dip. I think it's going to take a few games for Egbuka and McMillan is there and proven. I disagree. I don't see it that way. Emeka Egbuka was highly regarded throughout the entire NFL. GMs, coaches, and scouts called him one of the most polished and pro-ready prospects. Can't miss, will not bust prospects in the entire NFL draft. Now, obviously, that didn't lead to him being drafted as a top 10, top 15 player. But Tampa Bay getting him has, and I've said this all offseason, told me something. Either they're worried about Godwin Mike Evans or both. They're both older. They both have a long injury history. And Emeka Egbuka's ready to play today. And he's just better. He's better than McMillan. So I don't personally see it like that. I'm not the guy who took Waddle. Okay, so you are severe jury, I guess. Because I think DJ got Waddle. I don't think Ingram's going to fall to me. I'm going to get sniped. Well, if you're listening to me, don't take Evan Ingram. No, you can do whatever you want. Don't let me influence you. He did not. Okay, well. Don't let me influence you, but I will take advantage of an Evan Ingram falling to me. Very happy with that. One Sip Review says, I've been slamming Ray Davis a lot. I don't have a problem with taking Ray Davis. I'm not doing the same, though, personally, because, again, I do think James Cook will be there. And I actually said this early in the offseason, too. You know, the reality with certain players, and it sucks to say, because, I do believe that James Cook has performed well enough to get paid. But, you know, this is a business. And these teams will negotiate in the best interest of their company/team. And James Cook is a second-round player who I don't know how much more, if any, guaranteed money he has left. And the reality is you can't sit out a year as a running back. Le'Veon Bell taught everybody that. So he has to play. He has to. He's not, and even if he wanted to sit out theoretically, he's not Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell, the reason he got paid afterwards is because he was elite. He was an elite top 3 running back. Jonathan Taylor was going to do the same thing a couple years back. Again, at the time, elite top 3 running back. Potentially still is. James Cook, as well as I like him, he's not that. So I don't expect James Cook to hold out. And I never have. Well, I guess I'll go with Goff to round out my quarterback. Amelia Earhart says, Egbuka is the most NFL-ready rookie, no doubt. Godwin's injury is not looking good whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, I don't, I don't think that Godwin is in a position to where I feel comfortable taking him. And, I mean, they're basically alluding to him not being there at the start of the year, which, again, will make Jalen McMillan relevant. But at the same time, you know, it definitely opens up Emeka Egbuka. And he is very pro-ready, as you said. I skipped out on Fields at the 103, and he came back around. To each his own. I am very glad you did not take Ingram. And I returned the favor for you, apparently, by not going with Tyler Warren. So, we did each other both a solid. I have not gone with Colson Loveland in so long. I'm going to do it. God, I really don't want to. I can't do it. I just can't. I just cannot pick Colson Loveland. I hate that he's not practicing. Ben Johnson's offense is not one you could just waltz into. Oh, I'm ready to go. I can't do it. If you pick up CMC, do you pick up Garendo as well? I do personally, but I will say this. There is no guarantee that Garendo is the guy who backs him up. It could very easily be Jordan James or whoever they choose to do it. Like, honestly, I am not convinced that it's going to be Garendo. But yes, my first instinct would be to pick up Garendo for sure. In a redraft league. In best ball, I don't care about getting handcuffs because I'm going for upside. I don't want to get handcuffs. I want to go for upside in best ball, but in redraft leagues, you bet yourself I'm picking up Garendo. Who was getting Samson in the 120s? Did someone already grab Samson? That's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's pretty wild. I wouldn't have done it. Well, I'm going to take Brenton Strange. Round out tight ends. I think I heard Ford is injured. Yes, Ford is currently hurt. Let's see if we can get an update on that. Misses again today. Undisclosed. It's not great. That's really bad, actually. It sucks. Because it's like, dude, Jerome Ford, they like barely brought him back. Like he kind of like, it seemed like begged to come back. He took a pay cut to stay with the Browns. Now he's got a golden opportunity right in front of him, and he's not healthy to take it. It's not good. Okay. Well, I'm going to start taking a running back. I'm going to go tank. Because I feel like it. So here is where we stand right now. Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor for a double hero. Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison is my first 4 wide receivers. 2 guys that could be suspended right out of the gate. But I grabbed the super stack with Mahomes in the 7th round. Emeka Egbuka in the 8th. Tyrone Tracy. Evan Ingram in the 10th. Jared Goff at the 11th to round out the quarterbacks. Quinn Johnston Brendan Strange and Tank Bigsby so far. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel to show your support. What else you guys got going on? We got time. We got all day. Well, not all day. Got to edit a video later tonight. Getting out a good video tomorrow, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Going to be more specific on draft picks, if you know what I'm getting at. Thanks, Ryan. It's my time for dinner. Love the chats. Appreciate you being in here tonight. Enjoy your dinner. Hopefully you're getting something good. I'm getting hungry too, now that you mention it. Well, I'm very hopeful since my fellow drafter is drafting behind me. I'm hopeful that Roshan falls to me. Very hopeful. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Nice. Roshan. Probably done with running backs. Yeah, I'll stick with 5. Fine with Betch. Fine with Bryant. I'll go Jalen McMillan if he makes it back to me too. I need to cool it on Jalen Knoll. I might just jump for Lockett and Coker if these top three guys are out. So I'm hoping I get Auden here. Nice. You got your guy. Well, McMillan goes, so he is not a possibility for me. Let's see what your team looks like. Baker, Fields, and Cam Ward. Interesting. Saquon, Kenneth, RJ, and Benson. That's a pretty solid running back room. AJ, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans, Jacoby Myers, Trey Harris, Kyle Williams. Solid. Tyler Warren and Cade Otton. You've got a solid team there. Very solid. It's kind of mid. Not going to lie, not a great draft. Just having a good time. Hey, that's what we're here for, right? Do not lose sight of the fun in fantasy football because it gets intense this time of year. And we're not even at the most intense part yet. But that's why you got to enjoy it. Mainly not thinking about playoff matchups. Yeah, I did a video about playoff matchups. And I don't think about them too much either, to be honest with you. Well, none of my wide receivers made it back to me. So I think I'm just going to go ahead, take that leap above all these other guys, and just go with Lockett. Hopefully Coker makes it back to me, and then I'll take a deep, deep shot. I don't feel like I have any business taking Isaac Tesla, to be honest with you. Maybe. Let's see, is there any news on him? It's already turning heads, whatever, from a Detroit site. All right, I'll give it a quick read. Okay, that means nothing. Maybe I'll take him just for the stack in the 18th. But yeah, I did a video about playoff matchups and trying to predict who will go off in the playoffs. But man, there's so many factors that happen during the season you just cannot predict before the season starts. Injuries to other teams, coaching changes, players quitting on coaches. Like, dude, there's just so many factors. Yeah. Jalen Coker, here I come. I'm a Lions fan. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Tesla is anything special. Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't really either. Was not big on him in the pre-draft process. Like, he's an athlete, but, I mean, we've seen a lot of athletes, a wide receiver, throughout the entire NFL who just aren't good football players. Marquise Goodwin, who remembers him? Dude was a track star, and he couldn't catch a ball. But yet he was drafted to be a good wide receiver, and he wasn't. So I kind of view him in the same light, but the thing about best ball is I like to take shots, especially when it comes to a stack. So if Isaac Tesla can give me a 20, 25-point week in week 15 because Amon-Ra St. Brown went down or Jameson Williams went down, then I'll be pretty happy stacking that with Goff for 1 week. I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to in the 18th round. Just so you know, I'm not wishing that Amon-Ra St. Brown and J-Mo go down. I like both of them in fantasy this year. I would like to keep them upright. But, I mean, anything's possible, you know? Somebody went with DeMarcus Robinson. That's a deep cut. All right, I'll end the draft with Isaac Tesla. Tesla. Isn't that how you say his name? Something like that. But that's it. That's it right there. Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, Patrick Mahomes, Emeka Egbuka, Tyrone Tracy, Evan Ingram, Jared Goff, Quentin Johnston, Brenton Strange, Tank Bigsby, Roshan Johnson, Tyler Lockett, Jalen Coker, and Isaac Tesla. So that's how it ended up. Anyways, I appreciate y'all being in here tonight. Very much so. Like the video, subscribe to the channel on your way out if you haven't done so already. And again, hop into one of these drafts, man. It's so fun. Doesn't cost you time. Just costs you some fun. That's all. And you could be a big winner because of it. Link in the description, link in the chat, link in the comments when this video is playbacked. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on tomorrow's video. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.